Hello and welcome. My name is Shema. I'm a self-taught visual artist and I work across a range of several mediums, from digital tablet to oil paintings on canvas. In my art, I explore many themes like identity, memory, and other fascinating questions about human societies. My work sits at the intersection of storytelling, concepts, and my perception of the world. Through painting and digital art, I build visual narratives which explore spaces of limitless possibilities, creating an artistic world that transcends convention and offers a refreshing perspective on the power of imagination. I called my art conceptual art. This video is part of a long form breakdown of one of my artworks on my ongoing art project titled The War Within Breaking Out of Perdition. This project follows the journey of a protagonist navigating trauma, awakening, soul searching, ultimately the perception of his world and himself. If you want to learn more about my artworks, you can go to Graphartixry.com. You will be able to find deeper Artanatomy breakdowns there. So before I go any further, let me explain what Artanatomy means. So it refers to the depiction, description, representation of any character, object, environment, the meaning of an idea, the concept, or anything else that appears in my artworks. It brings together extensive explanation of the inspiration, setting, characteristics, components, opinion, and the elements deriving from them. So today I want to focus on the fourth artwork on my multi-artwork projects called The Ritual of Race.
The context of the ritual of race. The ritual of race does not stand alone. It emerges directly from what comes before it. In the previous artwork, Hidden Artifacts, the protagonists enters a cave filled with suppressed knowledge, erased civilizations, censored histories, and forbidden truths. He discovers what was stolen, rewritten, and buried. As he leaves that cave, carrying the weight of revelation, he expects freedom. Instead, he witnesses something far more disturbing, not history, but the origin of deception itself. What the protagonist sees. As he steps out of the cave, the protagonist hides behind a rock, and from there he sees a ritual he was never meant to see. Two demonic figures stand before a gathering of blank, neutral human bodies. One is female, one is male. They throw paint onto these bodies. White paint, brown paint. The bodies are not born this way. They are painted. The act is not creation, it is assignment. What he witnesses is a symbolic invention of race, not as biology, but as a system of control. This moment is meant to feel shocking, unsettling, and wrong, because it exposes something we rarely question, that race as hierarchy was manufactured. The symbolism of the demons. The demons are not meant to be interpreted literally. They represent wickedness, not individual evil, but systemic evil. They symbolize the institutions, ideologies, myths, power structures that invented racial categories to dominate, exploit, and divide. Their ritual is calm, methodical, almost ceremonial, and that's intentional. Because the most dangerous violence often doesn't look violent, it looks organized, justified, and normalized. The symbolism of the human bodies. The human bodies are painted blank for a reason. They represent humanity before imposed identity, before hierarchy, before classification. They are passive not because they are weak, but because systems of power are rarely chosen by those they affect. Once painted, the bodies are no longer equal. They are placed into roles they did not consent to. This is how internal conflict begins. The core idea behind the artwork. The ritual of race is not a critic of race itself. It's a critic of the wickedness behind its invention. This artwork exposes a fictional ritual to reveal a real truth. That racial hierarchy was constructed, performed, and enforced, not natural, not inevitable. By turning the origin of race into a ritual, the artwork asks a question. What if the visions we live with were never meant to exist, but were staged? The connection to the war within. This is the fourth chapter in the protagonist's journey. The first was Revelations, which shows trauma and dislocation. The second was Planet of Truths, and represents awakening. The third one was Hidden Artifacts, and it's about rediscovering erased history. The ritual of race reveals the origin of the lie. This is where war within oneself deepens, because once you see how the system was built, you can't unsee it, and the mind must now wrestle with the consequences. This artwork is about the moment awareness turns into confrontation, and that confrontation is never external alone. It happens inside. If you want to continue this journey, I will be breaking down more chapters of The War Within in future videos. Thank you for listening.